Wagwan J Squad, it's your boy J and welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by, and if you're already a subscriber, welcome back. Now in today's video we're going to be doing a dish, a fish dish. So yeah guys, if you really want to see this video, join me on the next side. Let's go! Today's a celebratory and a special day, so you don't know the thing. Guys, as I said before, we are looking about a nice fish dish this afternoon for the household, and already have some Maggi seasoning on the fish. You know, we have to really season the thing properly. Normally it's just salt and pepper. Because of the flavor of fish, you don't really want to overpower it with a lot of seasoning. So you don't really have to throw on a whole lot of seasoning on fish. So we're going to be adding some onions and garlic. For flavor, we're also going to be incorporating some thyme to, you know, just give the meal a wonderful flavor. I'm not going to go over the top with the cooking this evening. All I'm going to be doing is just to fry the fish and then just cook it down in some gravy, guys. But I'm sure that you will enjoy this meal because I know it will be exciting. So let me drop a little tip right there, guys. Whenever you are looking about fish carries a pungent smell, guys. So just get yourself a candle, and once you get a candle, that candle absorbs the scent of the fish. Another tip, guys, also is to pre-wash your fish in vinegar. You know that we use our vinegar to cut away whatever rawness or smell in the meat. So yeah, man, these fish have already been washed in the vinegar, and we're gonna go ahead now and just continue the process. So I already go ahead and pound the garlic. You remember I always tell you guys on the channel, once you are looking about garlic, when you pound it, you get more flavor out of the garlic. If you can also cut it up. For the persons who might want to cut it up, you can cut it up into smaller bits. But for this video, we are gonna go ahead and we pound the garlic already, guys. So we're now gonna go ahead and just slice up our onion for the gravy process. Alright guys, so you're gonna go ahead now and just cut your onion in half. While you're doing that, to save time, you could also go ahead and have your oil being warmed up on the stove. Yeah man, so some people might cut their onions horizontally, some cut it vertically. It doesn't matter which way you choose to cut it, as long as you can get the flavor out of your onion. So now you have your onion and you have your thyme. The onion is chopped, is cut, and you're gonna just rest that on a dish. You know, just to get it out of the way so you have more space. See, this is a very quick meal, so you don't have to worry yourself, guys. We're not gonna spend a lot of time. Next step right now is to get your fish into some flour so that we can have a crunchy crust to the fish when it is fried. So we're gonna now add flour and a little bit more seasoning to the flour, and then we can take it from there. So yeah guys, there you have it. We're putting a little bit of Maggi in the flour. Remember though, guys, don't use too much of this seasoning because this season is salty, so you don't really want to use too much of it. You want to use just enough. So if your hands are already clean, don't mind, just get your hands into it, guys. You want to get out the lump out of the flour as well. Alright, so just get your fingers into it and you should be fine. So now you have the flour nicely mixed in with the seasoning mixed in with the flour. It is usually recommended that you go ahead and pat down your fish before you actually season. So I'm just gonna go ahead now, guys, and pat down my fish, because what you don't want, guys, you don't want the fish to stick. So you pat down the fish, and then guys, you drop that fish into the flour. Remember, the objective, you know, is to get that flour inside and all over that fish so that you can get that crunchiness, guys. We had spoken about earlier the oil being hot on the stove. So yeah guys, we're gonna now move towards the stove and get this fish into that nice lovely oil. So there you have it guys, the fish is now submerged into the oil. Don't have your stove very high guys, and you don't want to burn your fish. We're gonna go ahead now and turn your fish. And you know, each side takes at least a good 5 to 10 minutes. It could be a little bit under 10 minutes, but if you really want it crispy, then you can go up to the 10. But I believe that 5 or 10 minutes should be good on either side. Next step is to go ahead and sort out the gravy. Alright guys, so the next step now is to get these fish out of the oil and you rest them on a plate. But make sure that you have a paper towel to just capture the extra oil right there. So look at that guys. Look at that. Some people might just use the same oil, but we're going to now transfer them to a different pot where we're now going to add the seasoning and cook it down. Quick process guys, told you it wouldn't be long. Alright, so the next step now guys is to go ahead and to add your seasoning, your garlic and your onion to the oil. You know, just stir it up so that the flavor from the fish that was previously cooked can just seep into, you know, the seasoning. So we're just gonna leave that for a little bit and then we're gonna add our fish to the mix. So yeah guys, see, now we're going ahead and we are adding the fish again to the mixture now with the onion and the thyme and the rest of the seasoning. All we're gonna do now guys is to add liquid to this mix. Usually it would be recommended to add broth, but we're not using any broth for this recipe. We're just gonna go ahead and we add our good old-fashioned water to the mix. Also, if you want to be creative, in some cases you could, at this point, you could add coconut juice. Yeah man, the coconut milk, you could add that if you want to be creative. But for this dish, we're just gonna go basic and simple, add our ketchup and so on. Whatever we're gonna use with it to, you know, just give it that thickness, and then we should be finished. As we have a little dish with some water, and what we're gonna do now is go ahead now and add some ketchup to this, just to get it to a certain texture. So you go ahead guys and you just, you know, nicely mix that up together guys, just to give it some texture and consistency. So we're now gonna move towards stove and add to the mix. Now you just pour all of that out and you allow that now to sit in the sauce and simmer. We're gonna go ahead and add some country pepper to the mix, real old Scotch bonnet pepper for flavoring guys. And for some people who don't know, yeah man, you can always go ahead and put in your Scotch bonnet pepper in the freezer. It preserves it for a long time. There you have the finished product guys, served with some roast bread fruit. And when you see the roast bread fruit, you know that it is gonna be good. If you love this kind of content from JC's guys, remember to like, subscribe and share. Also drop us a meaningful comment so we can know that you are appreciative of our content. And as we always say on this channel, JC's, and we are out of here.